Going on? What's up, guys? How did you guys like the music? That was very chill, right? Very vibable, very cool, laid back music, kind of get you in the mood for today's festivities. Welcome back to our She-Hulk Thursday live stream discussions. We will be breaking down, spoiling this fourth episode. I can't remember the name of it. It was what's the name of it? It was This Is Not Real Magic. Very excited to talk about Madison and Donny Blaze, and of course Wong, and of course Jennifer and her dating lives and dating in 30 and being a Hulk and all that. So we'll be getting into that as well. But also, listen, this weekend is a pretty big weekend for us Marvel fans because it's D23. It's officially launched or started today, technically, because you had tomorrow starts because today is Disney Plus Day. We have Thor: Love and Thunder on Disney Plus. There is the behind the scenes of the making of Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's the Cars show. There's a Brie Larson documentary. There's a couple other things. So today's Disney Plus Day, but then tomorrow is D23, and Saturday is the very big day. I'm going to talk about that and so much more. So again, guys, welcome as everyone's getting settled in. Again, we are back with our weekly She-Hulk episode 4 live discussion. And as you all can see, this is a live call-in show as well. So Amanda, she's off in TIFF this week, so she won't be able to join us. I think Chris was out of town, so I might be doing this solo for the first half. But then again, later on the second half of the show, I'm going to open up the I want to say phone lines. I always say that, but the StreamYard, I'm going to give you all the StreamYard link so you guys can come in and share your thoughts on D23, share your thoughts on this episode, and just talk Marvel and have some fun talks here on today's live stream. So with all that being said, let me see who we got in the chat as everyone kind of gets settled in. What is going on? Okay, you got the vibes, Maxine. Okay, cool. That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to set the vibe and just have a good old stream on this beautiful Thursday. What's going on, Meg? Let's see here. Caitlin, how we doing? What's going on? Like I said, we got 16 people watching live. And let me see how many likes we got so far. We got 10 likes. So if we can get those likes up, that would be greatly appreciated. And, share the video. And this is a live stream. So, of course, I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. And like I said, a little bit later on in the stream, we will be doing our call-ins that I have really enjoyed so far, minus the first week where we had some bots get into the stream, but ever since then, we've had some great guests that's come in and joined us and shared their 2 cents. So again, later on in the show, I will be sharing the StreamYard link for you all can join and discuss this episode, but also discuss some D23 news. So yeah, man, let me, before we get into the breakdown as far as D23, what have you all been watching lately? I know for me, I have been I saw a horror film that I'll be dropping a review on maybe tomorrow sometime or over the weekend called Speak No Evil. Very excited to talk about that. It's a Danish horror film that will be coming to theaters, limited theaters tomorrow. And for Shudder fans out there, will be coming to Shudder next week. And also, what else did I watch? I've been revisiting some older like Marvel and DC projects just kind of randomly. Like I watched Deadpool 1 and 2 the other night and watched like half of Aquaman. So I've been kind of having fun times with just catching up with some old movies. And of course, House of the Dragon has been fire, to say the least. And tomorrow, I will be seeing The Woman King, which I'm excited for. And then I think next week we got Blonde. I'm going to try to see Barbarian either tonight or over the weekend. So got a lot of stuff, a lot of movies and shows that I'm excited for to check out and obviously share my 2 cents with you all. So again, let me know what you guys have been watching lately besides She-Hulk and stuff like that. Let me know what movies or shows you've been catching up on. And like I said, we'll get this thing started in just a little bit. Let me go back to the chat here. We got my man Jake. What's going on? Maxine, the show is really cute. I'm dying to see every week. Yeah, we'll talk about that, Maxine, because I know, again, this show isn't for everyone, but I'm really starting to to get the gist of the show. And it's not meant to be world-ending, catastrophic, Avenger threat level type of episodes every single week. It's just a fun comedy court show. And that's what they advertised when they presented the show 2 years ago at D23. And that's exactly what it is. So we'll definitely get into that in today's breakdown. As far as I had fun, this is probably my favorite episode as far as the 4 so far. I went to No Way Home and said, "Oh, Caitlin, let me know if it was number 1 Was it more fun? Did you have more? It was called the more fun edition, right? Did you have a fun time watching it? And was the extra scenes, the post credit scene, was it worth the price of admission? Let me know that. I'm very curious to know your thoughts on that, Kaylin. Excited for Cobra Kai. I am. I've seen 0 episodes of Cobra Kai, but I know a lot of people love it, and I know the reviews have been up, and apparently it's on par, if not better, than the previous 4 seasons. So I'm glad that Cobra Kai is making a return for those fans. Harley Quinn, I got to catch up on that. I'm a big DC fan, and I've heard that show is fantastic. I've also been, I've been, like I said, it's been random stuff. Like, and it hasn't even been Marvel, like MCU content. Like I watched Deadpool 1 and 2 the other night. Like I said, I'm like halfway through Aquaman, and I've just been watching that just kind of in the background. But Deadpool 1 and 2 was really fun to kind of catch back on. It's been a few years since I've seen that. I enjoy Ring of the Power as well. I got to catch episode 2. Episode 3 is coming on today. So I have yet to watch the second episode of Ring of Power because I didn't really vibe with the first episode. I wasn't really digging the first episode. It was pretty slow and kind of boring. And this is coming from a Lord of the Rings movie fan. I did not really vibe with that first episode, but I'm going to probably watch episode 2 and 3 sometime this weekend. But again, it's pretty cool to know that we got Marvel content out and the Lord of the Rings out and Game of Thrones out. And a couple weeks from now, we'll have Star Wars. So it's crazy. It's crazy content out there right now. I'm not liking the show. I feel like it's all filler. We'll save that comment for a little bit because I definitely want to get into that conversation about She-Hulk a little bit later. I'm also not a fan of the characters portrayed on the show. Very, very interesting. Very, very excited to talk about this episode today. I had a lot of fun watching the movies again after 8 months. Some extra scenes added to the story context. Others were just for, okay, gotcha. So sounds like to me, Caitlin, that it is. Of course, it's a fantastic film. I only saw it in theaters. Well, I saw it in theaters twice, and I haven't seen it since it was out last year. So I would imagine it was probably fun to go back into the theater. And then, like you just said, if you're a fan of the film, you get a couple more extra scenes with the Peters and a couple more jokes. So that's cool. I wouldn't have, I didn't go see it last week and I didn't plan on seeing it, but I would imagine when it comes back out on a re-release on Blu-ray, I'll probably pick it up and enjoy those extra 11 minutes. I think that was added to it. Let's see. I'm approaching the end of season 2. Which one are we talking? Oh, are you talking about Cobra Kai, Meg? Let me know if that's the show you're referring to. We got my man B Avery in the building. What's going on, B? Hope you're doing well, man. I saw you had your Cobra Kai review out the other day. I saw you saw Barbarian. I know you're not a horror fan, but I know it didn't seem like you liked the second half or the third act didn't really work for you. But I'm excited for Barbarian, B. You know, I'm a big horror fan, so I'm excited to check that out. But definitely shout out to Brandon from Just My Opinion Reviews. And hey, B, I know you didn't do your live show for She-Hulk last week. I don't know if you're doing it today, but I'll be opening up the StreamYard link, man. If you're available, you can come in and chop it up with me, man. Hit me up if you want to come on. B, definitely love to catch up with you, man. It's nostalgia for me. Oh, you talking about Lord of the Rings or Power of the Rings? Yeah. Barbarian was awesome. X is still my favorite movie, horror film. That's awesome, man. I'm so excited for Barbarian. Like I said, I saw a horror film the other night called Speak No Evil, and I'm really excited to talk about that with you guys in the next few days. But I am looking forward to Barbarian, hopefully tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to try to squeeze it in my schedule because I'm a big horror fan. And also, speaking of X, Jake, I'll be seeing Pearl, I think, next week. So keep an eye out for a review for Pearl because X was one of my favorites this year as well, man. Do you think She-Hulk would have worked better as a Law and Order kind of show? We'll talk. I'll keep that question in mind, Don, and I'll answer that a little bit later when we get to that point of the review or the breakdown of the live stream. She-Hulk is not my jam. Completely get the vibes that you're going. It's just not for me. I hear that, man. Like I said, I know the show doesn't work for everyone, but today's episode to me really kind of just hit the nail in the coffin. Like, this is the show. This is not a serious, dreadful, like I said, world-ending catastrophe, Avenger level stuff. This is just a fun, who's in the courtroom this week type of show. And today, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed today's episode, which we'll talk about. What's going on, Mara? How we doing? Zia in the building. I heard it's lackluster to say the least, but I'll still watch it. Are you talking about Barbarian? Yeah, for sure. It's worth watching, not necessarily in the theater, but the new crossover scene gave me a little bit more explanation. Oh, okay, Kaylin. I'm gonna have to YouTube that, see what the post-credit scene is like. I'm definitely down. Oh yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll send you that link, B, because I definitely want to get your thoughts on this episode if you're not going to be going live today, and also see what you are thinking about the D23 stuff, man, because we'll be talking about that in a couple seconds. Okay, Harley Quinn, you were talking about. Okay, Cool. All right. Well, listen, let's get into the first half of today's stream, and then we'll spend the second half talking about She-Hulk. But if you all don't know, it is that time of the year. Literally tomorrow is the first official day. But tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, D23 Expo. Of course, like I said, tomorrow is going to be actually, let me bring up the schedule here. But this weekend, I'm expecting some pretty big announcements. And just a little heads up for you all, we will be going live this weekend on Saturday. It's not the stream. They won't be streaming any of the presentation, unfortunately, like they did with Comic-Con or even the investors call they did a couple years ago. So, but I'm still going to be going live this Saturday around noon to just go over, like I'll have a Twitter feed pulled up and we'll just react to the news. So again, starting tomorrow, the festivities begin. As you all can see, Disney Legends Awards ceremony starts tomorrow. They're celebrating Disney and Pixar, which I think is just kind of a just overlaying all the stuff that they've made over the years, stuff like that. So, and also I think tomorrow is the big day for gamers out there. So if you're a gamer and you want to know about the new Star Wars game, the new Spider-Man game, which actually I don't know if Spider-Man would be associated with it because I don't think that's a Disney project. So, but I know they're going to be announcing all the big games tomorrow. But Saturday is the big day. As you all can see, 10 a.m. It's 12 p.m. for me Central Time. But 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. for me is the showcase of Marvel Studios, Lucasfilm, and 20th Century Fox. So that's what we're going to break into now, which is actually talking about just kind of predictions, what I hope to see tomorrow, or I should say on Saturday, and all the big things that I think we have to come. Kind of a refresher, though, just for you all from going back to what they announced at Comic-Con as far as Phase 6. We know there's a lot of empty spaces there from that November 8th, 2024 Fantastic Four launching Phase 6. We got the Kang Dynasty coming out May of 2025. And then coming out later that year, November 7th, we got Avengers Secret Wars. Now, I did a separate little short video kind of placing what I thought was going to be in those slots. And I still think some of my predictions will come true. But just to kind of go over it with you all, I do see, as far as, well, first off, announcements. Phase 6, Fantastic Four. I'm here for it. I'm so excited to see. Is it John Krasinski as Reed Richards? Is it Jodie Comer, who has been announced these last few days? In the last week or so, her name's been coming up as Sue Storm, and I would be 100% down for that casting. If you haven't seen Killing Eve, she's fantastic in that show. She was great in Free Guy. She was the best part of the Ridley Scott film that came out last year, The Last Duel. She's just great, man. And I would love to see her in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, showing the world what she's capable of. She's just such a fantastic actress. So if she is to be Sue Storm, I'm happy with that. Again, John Krasinski, we'll see if he is the official 616 Reed. If not, I know Badgley, the guy that plays in You, which I'm a big, that's a guilty pleasure show for me. I've seen all the seasons. I've covered it on this channel. I would be down with that. He has that kind of, especially if they're going for like a little bit of a mid 30s, early 40s, which I don't think any one of those. I think Jodie's still in her late 20s, and I think Badgley's like in his middle to late 30s. So they can go with that kind of range because this is Fantastic Four. They're going to be in the MCU for the next 10 plus years. So you probably want to, probably get them in their peak of their careers and not too older in their real life. So I would love that to be announced. And I've seen the thing being Seth Rogen, his name was brought up. My man Jason Segel's name was brought up. We'll see if any of those bigger name actors. I love Seth Rogen, but I wouldn't want to see him in the MCU. Even that, I'm a fan of his laugh, but I'm not down with that casting. But Jason Segel would be pretty cool. And then the Johnny Storm or Johnny, the Human Torch. I really haven't seen too many I've seen some really interesting names. There's a guy that plays in it's a show on Netflix, was another kind of guilty pleasure for me. Outer Banks. I know that he was also in, I can't think of the actor's name right now. He was also in Uncharted as Drake's older brother. I've seen his name pop up a few times. and a couple other kind of up and coming actors. So again, Jodie Comer, I would love if she gets announced, and we'll see what comes of Reed Richards. But I definitely think, as far as big announcements go, I think we're going to officially get the director. They're going to name the director of the Fantastic Four, as well as the cast. I think we can expect to get that announcement on Saturday. That might be, if not at the beginning of the presentation, probably something at the end just to get people excited. And as far as other announcements, casting goes, I don't know if we'll get any X-Men type of announcements, since I don't believe X-Men is going to be even brought up as far as like officially bringing them into the MCU to probably Phase 7, which rumors out there that Phase 7 will be like entirely focused on the X-Men, which I think that's pretty dope. But other announcements, Deadpool 3. I think that's a given because they're going to be going in production pretty soon, as far as early next year, I believe. So I think Deadpool 3 is definitely on the docket for Saturday. Sticking in the vein of what's going to be shooting soon, I think we're going to get some more announcements on Blade. We already know the director. We already know Mahershala Ali. There's a couple supporting cast members that they've announced. But I think we're going to get maybe some more information on Blade, and kind of, because that film's coming out next November. I think we'll get trailers for, or we're not going to get it, but the people that will be at the presentation will get it. I think we're going to get trailers for another Black Panther. I think we're going to get Secret Invasion's trailer dropping over the weekend, and hopefully they'll release it to the public. I think they'll give us a little sizzle reel for the Marvels. I think that would be smart because that's coming out next year. We got Ant-Man, Quantumanium. I believe will definitely, whatever they showed at Comic-Con, I would imagine they'll show it at D23, and I would imagine they'll probably, hopefully, release it to the public because that film's coming out literally in February. And as far as TV shows go, the Okoye show for Black Panther, I think that makes a lot of sense to make that announcement. Wonder Man, I know, was in the news for the last few weeks, and Henry Golding might be Wonder Man. Henry Cavill might be Wonder Man. Low-key season 2, I think that's not necessarily a trailer, but probably a teaser coming for that, and maybe giving the audience an idea what we can expect in season 2. And I'm thinking off top, is there any other big immediate projects that probably needs to be mentioned? I think that's pretty much all the big ones. So let me know in the chat, guys, what you're hoping to see as far as announcements. And because, again, they won't be, unfortunately, streaming any of this information. They're just going to be, Twitter, and maybe a trailer or two drops over the weekend. But let me know what big announcements you all anticipate to see on D23 this weekend. Caitlin saying, I'm curious for the announcement, but I'll avoid trailers. If they will even drop trailers, we'll see what comes of that. OG Fantastic Four is underrated. They're okay. They're okay. Tim Story, his direction to me just didn't really land for me, but they're better than people give them credit for. I'll agree with you on that one, Kaylin. I want a Moon Knight season 2. That's a good call, Kaylin. They might actually announce that because there's been a lot of momentum. I know a couple during Comic-Con, the director and Oscar Isaac were out, just out about, and one of the actors or the director's daughter said, "Hey, what are we doing here, Dad?" Like, "Oh, we're getting ready for season 2." So I think we're going to get announcements for that, and maybe even a Miss Marvel season 2. I think those would be 2 great TV shows to kind of bring up an announcement for. So yeah, Moon Knight season 2 would be pretty dope if you ask me. Yeah, I definitely. Miss Marvel teaser sizzle reel, because that film's already shot in the can with Nia DaCosta, so definitely a teaser for that. Ant-Man for sure, and the Guardians that comes out. Well, speaking of Guardians, going back to Disney Plus, Werewolf by Night, that comes out in October. Michael Giacchino directed that, so I'm sure they're going to give us something. That's 2 months away. So Werewolf by Night definitely coming to Disney Plus as like a hour special film, short film, whatnot. And then Guardians that comes out this holiday season, the holiday special. So definitely some Guardians love at D23 for sure. I heard rumors of Scarlet Witch movie, but I'm not sure. Maybe it'll tie into Agatha's show. Yeah, I've seen those rumors too, Don, and I would love that if Scarlet Witch is to get her movie, but like at this point, what would the movie be, right? Obviously, she died at the end of spoiler alert, at the end of that show, or well, not the show, but Doctor Strange. So I'm not sure. Are we going to play into House of M? Like, are they gonna do something like that, or like at this point, what would be her like to get her a film? I wonder what would be like the kind of the big thing to kind of have her involved with. But I'm here for it. I love Elizabeth Olsen. I think she's great in the role, so I would be down for that if that is if they do announce something like that. So definitely, and Agatha, I'm so excited for that show, and I wonder if they'll give us any Agatha stuff come D23 as far as information goes. I want them to announce Fantastic Four. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that they're going to go ahead and announce who is a part of the Fantastic Four. If there are any Moon Knight, it can't be born. I actually enjoyed Moon Knight, man. I wanted more, like literally, I wanted more of Moon Knight. But I came to really enjoy Steven's story and everything went the bond that him and Mark had, and the drama was there, the writing was there, the acting was there too. But I definitely wanted more of that Moon Knight. I enjoyed Miss Marvel. Yeah, I would love a season 2 of Miss Marvel. I'm a big fan of Kamala and her family. They're fantastic to me. Let's see here. Probably about her variant. Are you referring to the Wanda and was it 838 and showing that would be, I mean, that would be interesting because shoot, there's some huge ramifications on that planet. Their Illuminati's gone. Reed Richards is gone. So that would be very interesting. And that could set up a secret wars, that world. Cause I always thought when I saw Doctor Strange, when she wiped out that Illuminati, that world's main leaders, that would be huge for that world. And I would imagine there will be some mad people, X-Men being one of them, Sue Storm losing her husband. So that would be, and I'm not saying they would blame that Wanda, but they would probably want that Wanda to seek revenge. And, so that would be interesting, but we'll see what comes of it if they even announce if she has her own solo film. Different strokes, different folks, but then why everything. Yeah, but yeah, guys, like I said, as far as D23 is concerned, and shout out to B, yeah, definitely, that's not how you spell predictions. Let me go ahead and move that off the screen now. But yeah, I am very excited for D23. Again, this Saturday, starting at 12 p.m. We'll probably go 11 a.m., 11:30 or so, just kind of pregame it. But we'll go live this Saturday. And again, they won't be streaming any of the announcements or trailers at D23, but I'll do what I did with Comic-Con when I'm going to be on Twitter and I'll just pop up, I have a Twitter feed pulled up and we'll just react to the announcements. And hey, if they drop a trailer or two, we'll react to that too. So this Saturday, which I believe is the 11th or the 9th, no, it's the 10th, we'll be going live to react to all the big announcements. And I do expect some big announcements come D23. So let's move on to the main event, which is breaking down She-Hulk episode 4, which again was titled This Not Real Magic. And you know what? Before we go into it, let me do a cool little, because I finally got this in the mail. And this is a sponsorship that I've been looking forward to for the last few months, but it finally came in. So before we get into She-Hulk, let's hear a quick word for a new sponsor on the channel, Movie Palette. Let's play that right quick and talk about that for a second. Movie Palette is a distinct way to enjoy your favorite movie displayed artistically on canvas. Their palettes are carefully crafted by digital artists who choose the dominant color from each scene from your favorite movie. These vibrant colors are arranged side by side in stripes on high quality canvas. The stripes are displayed in chronological order and the width of each one corresponds with the length of the movie scene. The result is an intriguing piece of artwork that gives you a unique view of the movies that you've seen many times before. Now, if you can't find your favorite movie listed on their website, don't worry, you can still enjoy it displayed on the canvas. Simply tell them the name of the movie along with the year it was made, and they will create a custom movie palette just for you. That is right. We got a brand new sponsor, Movie Palette. And like I said, it just came in the mail yesterday. This is my little, I haven't even unwrapped it yet. This is my Movie Palette. I don't know if there's any cinephiles out there, if you guys can guess what movie that I choose to have Movie Palette make for me. And if anyone can guess this, I don't know, I'll give you a brownie point or something like that. But this is I've got to find somewhere to hang this thing. You all know I don't I don't really hang up posters and stuff, but I love that, man. And again, if you guys can figure out what movie palette that was, I'll give you a big old heart in the comment section. But as you all saw from the sponsor of this video, you can use my link in the description of this video. You can get, I think it's like 15% off. And like I said, guys, this is pretty awesome because if you're a cinephile, this is just appreciation for the art. Essentially, every roll is like a frame of the movie. And again, if you can guess the movie that I have here, I'll put it up a little bit closer. It's probably hard to see it, but if you can guess the movie, you're awesome. But essentially, they'll make your favorite movie. They'll make it into this art piece. They also do TV shows, and it's just cool, man. I'm a production head. I love production. I love cinematography. I love film, and that's one of my favorite films of all time. So I got to find somewhere to hang this thing. But again, shout out to Movie Palette, a new sponsor on the channel. Again, if you all want your own very piece of art here for your favorite movie, your favorite show, you can use my link in the description of this video and get, like I said, I think it's like 15% off. So pretty cool stuff there. So with that being said, let me transition over to, again, the main event, and that is She-Hulk episode 4. And let me actually, I know Brandon said he would like to join, so let me actually send him the link, and then we'll open the chat a little bit later for you all can call in and join and share your 2 cents on, again, D23, this episode, so on and so forth. So Brandon, if you're still here, definitely come in when you get a chance, man, and we'll chop it up and see what you thought about this episode. So let's get into it, y'all. Again, episode 4. Again, this is not real magic. This episode had magic for me, man. This episode had magic for me. This is my favorite episode of the season. This episode to me, and again, comedy is subjective, I laughed the most in this episode. And there's many reasons why, but I'll just let y'all know right now. One of the big reasons why I laughed a lot. And it took a minute. At first, I'm like, dude, this actor, this character is getting on my nerve, but she grew on me, y'all. I'm talking about Madison with 2 N's and a Y, and you need to know, what does she say? You don't need to, it's not where you think the Y is or something like that. I had a good old time with Madison. She kind of, listen, y'all might disagree with me. She looked like a poor woman's, and that's not not, you know, disrespect. She looked like a poor woman's Elizabeth Olsen to me. Some angles she had, I'm like, she looks almost like Elizabeth Olsen. It was kind of weirded me out for a second, but I thought Madison was hilarious. I thought Donny Blaze, kind of a play on Johnny Blaze, for any of my Ghost Rider fans out there, which I know when the trailer of this show came out, people were like, oh, is Ghost Rider going to be in the show? Which I don't think we'll see Ghost Rider in MCU anytime soon. That's maybe phase 6 with like Midnight Suns. But I had fun with this Donny Blazer guy here, kind of a poor man's, musician here. I thought that stuff really kind of worked for me. And again, the way, and Kenny, who was in the chat earlier, he was on the channel last week. He mentioned the way he's looking at this show now, which is through the lens of Jennifer Walters, which things are going to be heightened. Situations are going to be kind of more flimsical, a little bit more comedy based. So with that lens, and also this is 4 episodes in. This is the show. I'm going to say it again. This show is not meant to be taken seriously. And that's not a disrespect, because that's not what the show is being advertised. This is what when they announced She-Hulk, they never said She-Hulk was going to be the, momentum for to end phase 4, into phase 5. They said this is a court show, law show with comedy. And that's exactly what they've been giving us. And I know very early on, we were having those conversations about like the show just kind of tiptoes around certain subject matters, like a woman in the workplace, how women are viewed in today's society, stuff like that. And they introduce those things, but they don't really dive into it. That isn't the show, right? They're not. And again, this is 4 episodes in. Who knows? The second half turns its head around and it gets more into the seriousness of the situations. But so far, this show is just here to have fun, man. And so far, again, based on this 4th episode, I had the most fun with this episode. And again, shout out to Donny and shout out to Madison with 2 N's and 1 Y. She was hilarious. But getting a little bit more in depth, and let me see what you guys are talking about so far in the comments, and then we'll kind of break it all down. Oh, you guys are guessing New Hope. That is my favorite Star Wars film, but no, this isn't a New Hope. I think it would be probably more blues in there. Let me see if anyone guessed it. Django, one of my favorites, but that is not it. Batman Dark Knight, nope, one of my favorites though. Okay, so no one guessed it. I'll have to, I guess we'll just keep that a mystery. But listen, Speaking of mystery, I got a mysterious guest in the back room, y'all. I think you might have already spoiled the beans of who I invited, but very excited to have him on and see his thoughts on this episode, and also to see what he's thinking about D23, which is coming up in less than 48 hours. Is my main man, Brandon from Just My Opinion Reviews. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on? What's up, bro? How you doing?
Hey man, I'm doing good, man. Madison with 2 N's and a Y had me on 10 this morning, man, when I was watching the episode. So I'm doing pretty good, B.
Really? Well, that's what's up, man. I'm glad she had you on 10. I had a different number, but we'll get to it. And
Yeah,
I
man.
heard you said this is your favorite episode, and so that's
Favorite. Easily,
that's what's
B.
up. I'm
Man,
glad.
this
I'm
is
glad you liked it.
I did, my friend. But before we get into your thoughts, Brandon, again, guys, shout out to Brandon from Just My Opinion Reviews. If you want to let them know, man, where they can find your content, man, the stage is yours.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I do appreciate it. But B Avery, Brandon Keith Avery, Just My Opinion Reviews. Right here, I got my social media on the handle on the screen right there. If you want to follow me on social media, but if you didn't know, I give my opinion on movies, television. I do lives. I do trailer reactions. If I'm lucky, I may interview somebody. But I'm just a geek over here, a blur. Just passionate about the entertainment industry, and just give my take on it. So yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Brandon, I'm gonna put you on the spot, man. Can you guess what this movie might be? This the new sponsor here.
Let's see here. Let's see. What movie is that based on the
What movie is
colors?
based on the color? Yeah, because that's their whole. And I love, and again, shout out to Movie Palette. But yeah, their whole thing is taking every frame in the movie and putting it on this canvas
Oh,
here.
okay. So can let me is it a recent movie? Do I get any hints at all? Like the year it came out, or just of all time? Of all
Um,
time?
so it is one of my favorite science fiction films of all time, and I will give you the
Oh,
year,
Interstellar.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Brandon's got it. Yes, sir. I don't know if you have to
Yeah,
see it
yeah,
here. It's in the
yeah.
corner, Interstellar. Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
Brandon won. Brandon
Oh yeah.
won.
Oh yeah.
He's the winner.
Man,
Winner, chicken
man,
dinner.
man.
Yes, one of my favorite films of all time. One of the best scores, cinematography,
Yeah.
best Christopher Nolan film all day, every day. So shout out to them. Shout out to them. And shout out to Brandon for picking that. The man's a genius. But let's get into it, B.
Oh,
Now,
and shout out to everybody in the chat, Zia,
yes, yes.
Mara, everybody.
Showing
How y'all
love.
doing? Thank you for
Yes,
being
sir.
here.
Yes, sir.
Love you
Beautiful
guys.
Brandon. Got some love in the chat. Yes, yes, yes. But Brandon, man, I saw your. I was up late. I'm a night owl. I saw some of your review last night before I called it a night, and I saw you were like, "Yeah, this is your least favorite, if I'm not mistaken." Brandon, is that correct?
Yeah, man. I didn't know if you knew or not, man. But
Yeah.
this is my least favorite, man. I felt that way from the very beginning. When I first saw the show, I didn't like it. I thought the
Mm,
whole thing was bad. But the second time I came around, I was like, wait a minute, I'm tripping. This is actually pretty good. I'm looking at it from a different point of view. However,
mm,
both times I still despised episode 4. I heard what you said earlier, that you get it, that this is the show,
mhm.
that hey Zia, that it's light, that it's just fun, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And I can accept that, and that is perfectly fine. It has nothing to do with my disdain for
Mhm.
episode 4. I have other reasons, but yeah, episode 4 is just not it for me.
Gotcha, man. Well, we'll definitely dive into it. Like I said, I'm at the point now where this is just my grand kind of thoughts on these Marvel Disney Plus shows. They're just kind of like comic books. They're different strokes for different folks, and each series now is kind of its own niche. And it's kind of, because again, if this were made into a film, this definitely would not be the most highly regarded movie in the MCU, because it is so kind of, it fits within the narrative of a comedy genre. And again, comedy is very subjective. And the jokes last week actually didn't work for me. I did not like the fairy, or not the fairy, the shapeshifter.
Right. I didn't like that either. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that
Yeah.
to me was like very off, like Disney Channel jokes to me. But
Right.
this week's jokes to me just hit me on another level. And especially again, we're gonna talk about Madison. She was MVP, and Wong's my guy. Even though Wong, Brandon, to me, this show has definitely, he's fitting into the show. Like, I don't think this would be Wong in normal MCU circumstances. Like last week, his reasons of fighting Abomination was to kind of solidify himself as a Sorcerer Supreme. It's like, hold on, Wong, you telling me you can't
Right.
find some other demonic entity in the universe that can really, challenge you in that matter? And then even in this episode, I was just like, Wong, you telling me you can't just portal your way into Donny Blaze's house and just take the ring with force? Is that what you're telling me, Wong? So once I put that aside, I'm just like, it's just fun, man. It's just the hero and the villain of the week, and we're just getting into the absurdity. But
I'll just say this real quick. I'll say at one point, but I forgot what I was going to say. Jesus Christ! If it comes back to me, I'll let you know. My bad. My
no
goodness
worries,
gracious.
no worries, bro. But I mean, hey, just jumping right into it. What did you think about this individual here that went by the name of Donny Blaze, which I definitely think was a play on Johnny Blaze, the Ghost Rider, just because this show is just so meta and pokes fun of different aspects of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But what'd you think of Chris Angel here?
Yeah, he was cool. He did his thing. I'm not mad at him. He just trying to survive out there. We found out that he used to train with Wong at
Yeah.
Comertage and he got kicked out.
Mhm.
And that's interesting. The good thing about this episode is they did give us a little bit more story as far as that's concerned and how they operate. Just because somebody's recruited and they start training doesn't mean that they graduate and finish the whole program.
Right.
And this is the
Right.
first time we're seeing this in the MCU that, hey, somebody get kicked out, and this is where we see them. It's funny because we see right like when they gave us a shot behind, we can actually see the wires
Yeah.
or what there was hanging up. But
Yeah.
he's struggling out there, man. I was entertained by him. So
I
he
was
was
too,
cool.
man. And to your point, B, as far as this kind of that build in the universe and how people get brought in, it is pretty cool to see that. I mean, we know American Chavez right now. She's training with Wong, and
Right.
hopefully next time we see her, she'll be Omega level with traveling the multiverse and having magical powers. But yeah, that is a very, now to your point, as far as the recruitment stage of it all, they need to definitely screen people better because my man's
Right.
warping in kegs from his
Yeah.
fraternity. It's like, yeah,
Right.
who
Right.
chose this guy?
Idiot.
That's
Idiot. Idiot.
idiot. That's definitely an
Yeah.
idiot.
I don't even know if he's a real character as well. Because when I did my little recap, I was reading something on Fandom Wire, and it said that one of the writers was purposely trolling everybody for a little bit, just like, oh, this may be related to Johnny Blaze, Ghost
Yeah.
Rider, And
Mhm.
so I didn't know. I don't even know if this is a real character or
I
not.
don't think so. Yeah.
Okay, because I tried to look it up on like to see if he was in the Marvel database, and I didn't see anything. So.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, they definitely, and I think a little bit more behind the scenes aspect. I think he's the husband of one of the directors who directed like 6 of these
Mm.
episodes, and he's also, if you ever watch Entourage, he was on a couple of episodes of Entourage too. So yeah, I think they, like you said, Brandon, I think they totally were playing fun of the name of Johnny Blaze and making him Donny Blaze. But there was a couple moments when they mentioned there was a demon that Madison talked to that may or may not have connections to the actual the demon that created Ghost Rider. So there might still be a little bit of a little hint, nod at what's going on here. But right off the bat, Brandon, again, Madison, like I said, when we first met her, I'm like, okay, this is goofy ass character. This is like that Pug, I think is his name. I don't find him to be that funny so far. I'm like, oh, this is just gonna be stupid. She's gonna be on my nerves. But it took a minute, but I eventually kind of really enjoyed the character. But what did you think about Miss Madison, Brandon, and kind of meeting her for the first time?
Well, meeting her the first time, it worked. I mean, she's out and about, whether she's in Vegas or just a smaller strip, just having fun, and she's tipsy, she's drunk, she's living it up. I have
Yeah.
no problem with that at all. So initially, I was like, hey, I thought they may have even known each other, like that's just that's
Part of
always his part
Yeah.
of the act, always his
Mhm.
volunteer. So I didn't have any problems with her initially.
Initially.
Yeah.
This sounds like so it was the reverse for you, where at first I didn't like her and I eventually came to like her, but you liked her at first. And as the show went on, it was like, I'm gonna need her to get out of here.
Yeah, yeah, we'll get there. We'll
We
get
will
there.
get there, man. But listen, my man Wong is trying to chill, Brandon, watching some Sopranos, which I've seen I've seen like random episodes of Sopranos. I've never like sat down and watched its entirety. I know it's one of the, quoted to be one of the greatest shows of all time. From what I've seen, I could definitely understand why. But he gets it spoiled, Brandon. And who doesn't love getting stuff, or who doesn't hate getting stuff spoiled
Oh
as he's
man,
watching this,
man.
man? And Madison coming through. Your thoughts again on how, I guess, just generally speaking, how are you enjoying how this show is handling Wong, or the lack of how they're handling him? Because I know some people in chat are saying they don't like the kind of the goofiness nature of how they're using Wong so far.
All right, let's get into it. Yeah, I want to think Wong had a bigger reason for breaking out the abomination than he needed a
Yeah,
sparring partner.
that
Elliot, thank
that
you,
was amazing.
bad Coyote Funky. Because when I
Yeah.
said I have something to say, it was about that, and I forgot, and you brought it back to my memory. Elliot, I was going to say, I believe this. I think they're still running game on us. I think that there is another reason that they're hiding from the public of why he had to recruit Abomination for the tournament, the Kumite. I think
Mhm.
that will be revealed later, even if it's not in the plans. I think it is still open to do that. And
Mhm.
so that does give me hope because I mean it did, because I know we was all pissed off, like, why the hell was,
Why is
you
he in
know,
there? This is just the
why is he in the
silliest
this
cameo. Yeah.
this is and Shang-Chi, this is dumb. And
Yep.
so this, addressed it, but I still think there's more to it. To answer a question on how they're handling Wong or a lack thereof, I like Wong in episode 3. I
Okay.
did. I did not like him in episode 4. That
Mm.
this was the dumbest episode to me. This is one of the worst because of him. Now, I will say this in Wong's defense, I will have to backtrack one of my statements that I made in my recap that I did earlier, because this particular scene, and I remember right after I saw this, I was talking to Sharonda briefly over the phone, and we were both giving our opinions on Wong, and we was
Mhm.
like, why are they making him a joke? And I said to
Mm.
myself, I don't want to see Wong, the Sorcerer Supreme, watching season 5 of The Sopranos, with his jazz music, dancing and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I want to see him fighting. I want to see him training. I want to see him stretching. I want to see him reading books, trying to master his craft and figure out things in the universe that is coming. I don't want to see him showing up with Madison and him dancing and watching Sopranos. That really rubbed me the wrong way. Now, the way he responded to her was fine. I did
Mhm.
like that. But the reason why I'm retracting my statement is because the second and third time I saw this episode, I was like, you know what? I'll take it back. It is kind of cool that we get to see Wong, watching The Sopranos, because
Mhm.
that just makes us be able to relate to his character more.
Yep.
Like, hey, he's just like us. You know what I'm saying? I
Exactly.
mean, because Stephen Strange was at one point in time, but we know what happened, and now he was doing his thing, and that's
Mhm.
most likely the case for everybody. So
Yeah.
this is just kind of seeing a side of Wong outside of the magic world that
Yep.
we know, kind of like they did the last episode too, finding out he was a librarian,
Worked at
or
Target too.
worked at Target too.
Yeah.
So as far as this scene right here, this is fine. And I because what I'm talking about, I want action and him to be doing his magic thing. We just got that in Multiverse of Madness. I mean, he
Yeah.
was fighting a squid monster in the street and doing
Yep.
barrel rolls in the air with the lasso. So we got that. You know what I'm saying? So in
Yeah.
this, I was able to accept him at this time. So far, the way they've handled Wong, well, up until this
Up
scene,
to yeah.
this not this episode, but this scene that we're talking about, I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on and the sentiment of I'm thinking of Wong now and some of these characters that will pop up in the show, even She-Hulk herself. This is like the Avengers Age of Ultron scene when the Avengers are just sitting back, chilling, had a party, and they're just kicking back and just being normal people. Even though there's a god in the room, there's a billionaire, Tony Stark, there's a war hero in Captain America, there's an archery, a Hulk, and a assassin. They're just chilling. They're just regular people, just like us. So I totally agree with you, Brandon, in regards to Wong's not always just saving the world, fighting off Dormammu or fighting off demons and Mephistos of the world. When he's chilling, he's watching The Sopranos, catching up on the show. And also, I think This Is Us. He was watching that a little bit later in the show. So I totally agree with you, Brandon, that this show is just kind of letting his hair down and just showing you the other side of characters, right? And not by any means the next time we see Wong in Doctor Strange 3 or any other Avengers film coming up, it's not like it's going to be like completely 180, like, oh, wait, I want to go back to the goofy one. Like, it's layers to the characters. This is just showing you, again, just what he's doing on his free time. So I totally agree with you there. And I'm very excited to know, when was it in this episode that made you say, okay, this is taking it a little bit too far. This is getting a little bit too out of control for me at this point. But as we transition, again, we got to remember that it's not the Wong show. It's not the Madison show. It is Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk show. And I think, to me, besides the banner realizing that this isn't Bruce Banner that we met in 2008. And when they look at the camera and say, I'm literally a new person, that wall break to me was the best one so far. But this one, when she's walking to the camera, and number one, I love that her suit is now, it's like, as far
Yes.
as consistency goes, like obviously she's going to wear bigger clothes so she can
Right.
transform a little bit later when she becomes She-Hulk. But when she looks at the camera and says, the Twitter, whenever we have Wong on the show, we can at least have, it's like Twitter armor for that week. The meta nature of the show to me, Brandon, again, not all the writing's whippy and quick and super well thought out, but a joke like that to me is just one of the funniest moments to me. But your thoughts again on just Jennifer and her situation, and of course we met her dad a couple weeks ago. Your thoughts on this whole situation going on?
Oh yeah, I love Jennifer, and I did catch that her suits or whole clothes are oversized, and that makes sense. Even later on, I noticed that she had a smaller suit on, and it fit within the story. It's like she's adapted to this new lifestyle as far as her everyday doings and whatnot. The father is hilarious. What am I supposed to do? I mean, my daughter gets attacked by 4 men in the alley. How am I supposed to respond? You didn't call the police. I mean, he's extra goofy and silly. But I like him. I do like him. And as far as the meta jokes and breaking the fourth wall, I just think that's perfect. I think it's just a polite way to give the middle finger to any of the haters and bigots and stuff out there without being, one yourself, and so it like the past episodes where they had the social media responses, like that they showed the images of the comment sections and stuff like that. Brilliant.
I agree, man. Again, I love when Marvel is at this point now where they don't really care what people think, because they've been 13 years into the game, billions of dollars later, they can literally do anything. And they have shown that. They have given us, for some people that don't like the show, they think that this is complete nonsense. They can literally do anything at this point, and they can definitely, let the audience know that they are just having a fun, especially with a show like this. But yeah, I definitely agree with you on their relationship between her and her father. Again, this isn't, I think, the best family as far as new family goes. Kamala Khan and her family to me is the best, like top tier to me. But I do like their banter and their kind of back and forth that they have going on here. And kind of looking at this next scene here, Brent, I just even noticed as far as Easter egg wise. Did you get a chance to look at this little her little to-do list here? And just looking through the little things.
I did not. Let me make my screen bigger so I can see
here.
that.
Let's see. Finalizing
Blonsky and
Junction, getting prepared for that. Just like normal stuff. Oh, okay, the purple and green, homage to the Hulk there. Meet Nikki in the bathroom. Schedule some interviews. And also some paperwork with Paul. So nothing too, I don't think there's anything too groundbreaking, too Easter eggy in here, but
that last one is so sad though. Buy and read how to make friends and influence people.
That is
and I'm gonna bring that up later because it was something that I was already thinking about when we get to it. I don't want to.
They going through it fast.
Oh, they got okay, wow,
the whole thing. Yeah,
I don't remember this at all. I'm tripping.
Yeah, this was when she was in her office before Nikki comes in there. So. Okay. Yeah, the day in the life of Jennifer Walters. She's a very busy woman, but more importantly, Brandon, she is trying to find a match out there, B. Listen, man, as someone that's in my early 30s, I have plunged into the dating world. I was in a very, not to get too sentimental to Oprah moment here, I was in a very long relationship for like 10 plus years. And last year was my first time really getting into the dating game. And I don't know if you can speak to it, Brandon, but dating online is not fun, kids. It's not fun. I don't have horror stories, but it's not the most exciting to date online, B. So I really, and that's why, and this kind of goes back to my positives of this episode. I as a man, I really haven't been able to relate to everything Jennifer has gone through. There's some things that we can all just universally relate to that the show has to offer. But as someone that has been in the dating game, I can definitely relate to this beat. I was like, yep, it does suck to date in your 30s, ladies and gentlemen. But just your thoughts, Brandon, on this kind of the groundedness and again, making her more of a relatable character.
Yeah, I like it because we've all been here. And man, I gotta say, 10 years, I just gotta comment on that. I didn't know that.
Yes, I was in a,
just kind of just threw that out there.
No, it was a high school relationship that went into all the way into my 20s. And, unfortunately, things just don't work out in life, kids. So you gotta, prepare for life. But yeah, it was in a very long relationship. So yeah, and last year I took the plunge into, like I said, getting back into the game, and it was fun. It's fun to meet new women and all that stuff. But yeah, dating online, it's
yeah. I do love it. It's just another way to ground this show because, like I said, we've all been there. Dating can be fun, but it can also suck, and we're kind of getting the horrible end with Jennifer here, and her confidence just isn't there, as
Yeah,
Jennifer. It
exactly.
changes,
Yep.
but yeah, she's a bit inexperienced here using her corporate photo. That's just not flattering at all, but yeah,
Yeah.
I liked it, man. It just, yeah, I mean, I love everything about her. I don't have any
Yeah.
complaints of what she's doing for the most
I
part.
agree. And I'm trying to I'm zooming in here, looking at her profile. So for any Jennifer Walter fans out there, and I haven't scanned the QR code. I think it's every week they've been doing this. It's been like She-Hulk. Actually, let me see if I can scan it now and see if
Yeah,
it
I'm
pops
doing the
up.
same thing.
Let me see. Is it gonna find it? Can it find it? Can it find it? Let me zoom out just a little bit and see what comic they gave us here. It's not picking it up for some reason, but just looking at her profile, I'm gonna try one more time because I'm just very curious now.
I do have it. I'm gonna send you the link.
Okay.
Copy.
I don't know why mine's not picking it up. But looking at her profile, she is looking for, and this is for anyone looking to date Jennifer Walters in the fictional world of the MCU. But she's looking between the ages of 30 to 45, height 5'6" to 7'11". Okay, so I'm still in the running, and not too far. So I guess I'm out of the running because I'm nowhere near Los Angeles. So I'm out of the game. Interest. He likes to cook, comedy, music, dancing, yoga, animals. Okay, so
I
she's
just saw the height. I didn't notice that 7'1".
7'1". Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know if she's dating Yao Ming or Shaq or someone of that nature, but that's to obviously match her She-Hulk form. But yeah, if anyone's interested out there, and if you match that criteria, you might have a shot, ladies and gentlemen. You might have a shot.
And
But
I DM'd you the link or whatever.
okay, here, let me pull it up here. Let's see. Marvel Comics. Let's see what's free She-Hulk comments here. Okay, West Coast Avengers. Actually, let me see if I can. I'm going to bring this here and bring it up on the screen so you all can see and get your free copy of She-Hulk. But going back into it here, Brandon, we see She-Hulk again, just her day-to-day life, and this is now. Is this where Wong got a little bit too over the top for you? Is this the moment here?
This is where it crashed and burned. The whole concept. You want me to go ahead?
Yeah, go right ahead. Yeah,
Yeah.
let me know where
The
it all
whole
fell apart
concept
for you.
of this is just stupid as hell. I'm gonna call you Larry Elliott. I mean, it's ridiculous. You said earlier that you was able to get over it, but I wasn't. I'm just thinking you are the sorcerer supreme. You are
But what
supposed to
does
be the
that mean
strongest
in the MCU?
man
Though?
on
What
the
does that mean in
planet.
the MCU?
That you're one of the most badass on the whole earth. Like it should be. You should not just be getting your butt whooped. You just and you like you said, you cannot go take the sling ring by force. He up here giving all these speeches and talking about I answer to a higher power on a metaphysical level that can break the time and space continuum. But you want to go through the American legal system? Like can I cuss on your channel?
Right ahead. Go ahead.
I said it on mine. Just go beat his ass. Go just like give me the ring or I'm gonna beat your ass. I mean, that's it. That is it. Like flex. Like, are you serious? And you're not even being a bully, bro. You're sending random people into my living room that are drunk, sending them talking about she gave 6 drops of her blood into a dragon. Like this, you cannot do this. It's not even if you're not doing that, bro, return the property. Like, you're not part of the school no more.
I would think that would be part of the rules. Like if you get kicked out, you got to give the ring back. But clearly not.
I'm watching this, bro. Like, and everybody else is like, oh, I love this episode. I'm just like, I don't understand, Elliot. This is dumb. Just go take it. And then they're like, I understand that the show is light and they're gonna joke, and I have no issue with that. But have character interactions that make sense.
Yeah,
Wong made sense in episode 3, but this does not make sense, bro. He can just go take the sling ring. But you want to she talking about NDAs and a cease and desist, and come on, man. That just ruins the whole thing for me.
Yeah, and also shout out to Brandon for sending me that link. So by the way, guys, if you go back on the episode, click that QR code. This is the free She-Hulk comic they'll give you, which is West Coast Avengers 1986 issue 4. I'm not sure how that correlates to this episode, but definitely check it out. And I'm gonna probably read it a little bit later just to kind of see what it's all about there. But very interesting stuff, because I know she is a part of the West Coast Avengers, so maybe it's just an Easter egg of what's to come, because she is on the West Coast and she could run some Avengers on that side of the West Coast. But a little pushback. I want to push back, Brandon. So I listen. First off, I agree with you. Wong is doing some crazy stuff out here, because yes, if you are the Sorcerer Supreme and you have fought against Thanos's of the world, you've had Doctor Strange himself went against Dormammu. We know that there's so many demons and entities that are just beyond this world. Wanda's of the world. So I agree. There could have been a little bit of a better reason why he wasn't able to take the sling, maybe because I have no idea why he couldn't take it from him, just besides being polite and not, going in someone's house and taking their, I don't know why he didn't do that. But as far as this kind of back and forth and getting her involved and trying to play by the rules of the law, we all know that Wong broke the law last week, Brandon. He was a part of breaking Abomination out of jail. So I just think Wong now is trying to go on this path where he's like, you know what? These are humans, and I'm going to try to play by their rules for a little bit. And I could just, whoop his ass, take his ring, and go about my business. But, last week I broke some crimes. So maybe he's trying to get on the good path, Brandon, and trying to do the things right by going by the law. I don't know.
I mean,
does that work?
Look, it could work for you. There's nothing to say that, that's not in his head, but look, I'm not. No, I'm sorry.
It wasn't buying. I don't listen. It's hard to sell. The Abomination thing to me didn't make sense. This didn't really make sense. But again, this show, as we have said, as it is goofy, it's turned up a notch as far as heighten things up. And again, a friend of the channels who joined us last week, I think he's in the chat now, Kenny. Once he mentioned it, and here's Kenny here, did Wong not take the ring back? I still don't even think he took the ring back. Maybe by the end of the episode he did. We just didn't see it on screen. But when Kenny brought up that the way he's kind of, and I mentioned it earlier, just looking at the show through the eyes of Jen, and that things are just playing out a little bit differently because it's through her eyes. Maybe Wong in reality had a better reason why he wasn't able to do it, but in Jen's ears and how she viewed it, it was kind of played into this more ridiculous version of the story. But I agree.
Look at this. Another thing is, all he had to say, because she was talking about, well, did you have that in writing? Did you sign an NDA and all this? Mm-hmm. If we want to go through the legal American legal system, it's not his. It is Wong. It is literally Wong's property. If he's the boss, of all the magic people of the Sanctum Sanctorum, or wherever it's called, Nepal, wherever they at, it's his property. This man stole my property. I want my property back. I mean, that is the basic of laws. Yeah. That you can't steal. That's a 10 commandment. That's also a law. If you take something of mine, you have to return it.
Or again, and that's the thing too. I know Marvel loves to do their like kind of little side stories of building out the world. Maybe we'll get like a handbook of how once you've entered the class, you can take your belongings, and it's not. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out, man. Trying to find a loophole, but it doesn't make sense. I would 100% agree with you. For you, I know it didn't work for you, but for me, I just kind of, like I said, the way I'm cruising in this show, my brain is off. I'm just watching a Saturday morning cartoon show of live action foolery, and I'm having like this week I'm having fun with the kind of the foolery going on, even though some of the stuff from some of these legacy characters, which I'm just putting it out there now. I am just so interested and so fascinated, and also kind of nervous about when Daredevil comes onto the show, because I know based on some of the treatment, and how I feel about the Hulk, so I don't even want to bring that up. The treatment of some of these more legacy characters, I am just so intrigued to see how Daredevil is handled in this world. I know it's going to be very divisive. I do know that. That's all I do know. But getting back into this scene here, and this black guy had me rolling, the hype man of the year, Flavor Flav on the building here, hyping his Donny Blaze up. I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah. I thought my man had some funny jokes here, and I thought this kind of interaction between the two, again, Wong could have just at that moment just could have took the ring, man. But again, they're playing into the ridiculousness of it all, playing into the craziness of it all. Was there anything in this scene, Brandon, that stood out to you between this interaction of these characters?
Yeah, man, he need to retire. He a sorry magician, he got the cease and desist, and couldn't hide it in the code. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was laughing when excuse me, when Cornelius, kept hyping him up, and she was like, hey, "What are you, just his hype
He was
man?"
hyping
And
him.
I forgot what he said, but I laugh,
Yeah.
and they're really struggling. They really believed in their craft, It's just like,
Yeah.
man, I would be like, okay, I'm not good at this. I need to do something else, but
Do
they're
something. Yeah.
sticking with it. So I mean, that's cool, that's funny, but again, I'm just like, on the other hand, wrong. Just
Just take the damn
take the
ring.
ring. Like,
Yeah.
you was up here because he's at one point when they was leaving, he did something with his ear and then pulled the
Oh,
ball
took
out
the
of his
ball. Yeah.
mouth. He said, "I got your ball. Why don't you get the
Mhm.
ring, the sling ring?" Like, I'm just like, this is silly. This is silly.
I'm gonna have to go, and I'm not a fan of Doctor Strange, but this is making me want to go back to Doctor Strange to see if they brought up any of the rules or regulations of any sort, because I could have sworn there was something about when Doctor Strange, didn't he take someone's sling in the film, and that was kind of frowned upon?
Yeah, he
Or
took it in the first movie. He took it from Caecilius.
okay. And I couldn't, and I mean that's a perfect example. He took the ring, and he took the sling ring, and he was kicked out. So I don't know, B. What's your excuse for that then, B?
What
Why
do you
didn't they
mean?
take his ring?
What do you
He
mean
was
he was
kicked
kicked
out.
out? He was what? I'm trying.
He was
What's your question?
he was taken out. No, I'm just saying, like, people take the rings.
Right. So why couldn't Wong do it? That's what I'm saying. If Stephen
No,
Strange
I'm
was able,
saying that the Caecilius, he took the ring very similar to Donny Blaze. So apparently, if you train there, you can just take the ring. I guess you don't have to give it
oh,
back.
that's what I'm saying. I don't have a problem with Donny Blaze doing it. If I got kicked out, I would be trying to take stuff too. I'll be trying to take as many books and notes
Your issue is
and
that
you know what I'm
Wong just
saying?
didn't take it back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm saying he's smart. Why would I not try to take the magic? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you serious? Like, bro,
I'm taking
like,
all this
yeah,
stuff, taking
I'm
this
trying. I'm
whiz,
taking
taking this,
everything. I'm taking
taking
pencils.
Doctor
Like, this is
Strange
a pencil.
cloak.
Yes, I'm taking light bulbs. Anything I can get my hands on, I'm grabbing. So that's cool. But I'm saying Wong,
That he didn't take it
yeah,
back. I got you.
right,
I got
right.
you. They gotta listen. We need to know. We need to know, Kevin Feige. Why can't
Yeah,
Wong? Why did
man.
he take the ring back, man? But listen, B, this dude here, between Dennis, I think that was the douchebag's name that was thought that he got Meg's number, and this dude here, I don't know who's the bigger
Oh
douchebag.
man.
I'm all about equality and women's rights and all that stuff, but I was raised in a house where first dates, especially when you go on a date with a woman, you pay for it. B. That's just rules 101 for me. My man didn't pay for the date, Brandon. And let
Right.
alone, he didn't even listen to what Jen was saying. She's selling, I'm a hero. I do this. My man wasn't listening. He says,
Yeah.
I was born and raised in New York. Oh, how long you live there?
14 months. Yeah, I don't want to just report to a stickler boss or something
Yeah.
you said. So yeah, it was pretty crazy.
This moment, when I go back to moments I laughed, this was one of them. I think Jennifer, well, not Jennifer, but Maslany, Tatiana Maslany, her comedic chops to me are just very poignant and just very on point. And I just thought that she was hilarious in that scene. And again, this douche here, man. Brandon, what do you think about Mr. Take a girl out, don't pay for his own dinner?
Yeah, man. I didn't even know what was going on at the end where they was both reaching for it. But yeah, he's the bigger a-hole than Dennis, because Dennis is just delusional in his own land, just a bit naive, still a jerk, still an ass.
Yeah.
But this guy here, he's it's like he's being intentional.
You're right.
Like just no respect, like no eye contact. You got your phone out, texting, and like the two women walk by and
looks at him. Yep.
and I'm not gonna lie, like men, not all men, but we gotta train ourselves to where when we and with another woman and somebody walks by, like, don't look, because she saw her before you did. Like, come on, like, stay focused, like
right.
I mean, there's no training, but we do have to play that mental game, like, like let me focus. But he didn't care. That's just rude, like I won't even really like do that in front of my homegirls, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Unless it's
it's
just
respect.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just horrible. Calling her a 6, bro. You're about a
I better say, yeah,
you're right. Yeah. I mean, she could. Well, I won't be inappropriate, but complete douchebag. This guy here. I wish he would have tripped and failed on his way out.
Me too, man. I mean, he's the true villain of the show so far. I mean, we really haven't gotten a quote unquote villain on this show, but he is definitely, in my eyes, one of the villains as far as just his behavior. And yeah, he said Jen's a 6. Come on, bro. I mean, she's a goddamn superhero,
right?
With brains and comedy. I mean, she got the full package, man. She definitely deserves better. And this guy is his loss, to say the least. It is his loss. But I just thought that scene was hilarious.
Yeah, I feel sorry for her too, and she takes it well. She don't. It sucks. But not that she was really cutting for him. It's just it was a waste of time. It's like, oh Lord, this
I agree.
dating thing is horrible.
I
So
agree.
I felt for her. I felt
I
for her.
agree. And you brought it up earlier too, B. Just the confidence, right? She this is something, and again, it speaks to just her. She's just kind of like, this is just another terrible date, one to put on the docket. So I definitely, again, making that relatability factor that dating, man, there's some weirdos out there. There's some rude people out there. And again, this is one of the elements that I did enjoy. But I will say these courtroom scenes so far, even though this is a courtroom show, have been lacking, to say the least. Again, knowing that it's kind of the Ally McBeal goofiness, but these judges are dumber than bricks, Brandon. This woman is allowing, and again, she doesn't know the full, and this goes back to the Wong conversation with the ring. She doesn't understand the full complexity of when someone wields magic and doesn't wield it properly, because she's not really paying attention to what he's saying, what he has, the capabilities that he's having. But what did you think of this week's court situation? Again, Wong taking Donny Lang to court to get back the ring and to have him cease all using magic.
It was an abomination, Elliot. I wanted to dive through my TV and just cuss everybody out. Like, what are y'all doing? This is dumb. Look, again, you've been on me, Elliot, more than them in the chat. I'm a silly, goofy person. I laugh at stupid stuff all the time, and I'm cool with that. But there's a time and a place for it. If we're gonna have court proceeding shows, why can't it also be serious? Like on the level of the Sokovia courts, like, like can we really get a case of some collateral damage to where somebody, a hero, did save the day? They saved the day, but they also broke the net. Yeah, that somebody died or they destroyed some property. Yes, thank you for saving the boy that almost got hit by the car. But my car is melted. I have no way to get to work. Who's going to take care of my? I mean, I thank you. I appreciate it, but I got to get to work.
Yeah,
or there's a hole in my wall now, and I have to. How am I going to sleep? Like, why can't we have court proceedings like this? And then what makes it worse is we got Madison coming back, and it's like, what do you do? Like for a living, you just drink all day, every day?
Oh yeah, she's party
24/7. Come on, man. Like I'm Elliot, and that's not, ain't no way a judge is gonna let that go down. You can't finish that drinking here. Oh, I am almost done. And I mean, come on, bro. I like, it's stupid. I didn't like the thing at all. Wong in here talking about it was your idea. It's just like, why are we here, bro? Why are we? I hated this scene. It was the worst.
It's abomination. Listen, B, I gotta disagree, bro. Again, this is where it boils down to just, I guess, comedic sensibilities. And not that all goofy stuff works for me, but it was just, I don't know, the way it at that point. I mean, we were in. I'm looking at. I have this pulled up on Disney Plus. We're 13 minutes to the episode with 10 minutes left. I was just on the ride. I wasn't, again, at this point, the way my mind is working with the show, all of my seriousness, the stakes have to be there, the seriousness of a courtroom, all that stuff is thrown out of the window for me. Like, I don't anticipate this show to be serious at all. If it is serious, then I'll be color me surprised. But right now, the way my mind is working with the show, I'm not taking anything seriously.
I will say it still was funny though.
It was funny
because he threw the smoke bombs down, and she's like, "Where's start throwing smoke bombs?" I don't even know how you got him in the court. Like, I ain't gonna. I mean, it seemed like I hated. I did laugh, but I'm just like, Elliot, I would rather see something else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I got you. I got you, because again, I'm. We talked about Shang-Chi earlier, and when we talked about that movie when it came out, I mentioned how I hated every single scene that Trevor was in. I did not find him funny. Right. I do not find him funny, and I hope that he never comes back. Which apparently he's going to be appearing in Wonder Man. So that's like my most excited show, because he's coming back, but.
Because the thing about it is, it's just a waste, because like I said, I would rather see something else. But I'm not gonna lie, the dude made a good defense. He was like, okay, so you're saying that his show is spooky and fun.
Right?
I mean, it is a magic show, and I had to say myself, I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? He got a point. Yeah. And I mean, what's funny is they're so horrible at magic, but they're so confident and they won't give up, because I think Jennifer was like, oh, even the lawyer is a magician too. And he was pulling out.
See, you gotta how you gonna hate on the show, B? You laughing. You laughing, bro. It's funny.
It was funny, but Elliot, I'm just saying, man, how will you feel if we get through all 9 of these episodes and like no court, like not one court is serious? It's just all throwaway. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I mean, I think, and this just speaks to the greater conversation of Marvel. I think we have been, I don't want to say trained, but I think we've been so accustomed to a certain tone. Of course, we have Guardians that are funny, Ant-Man is funny, but I would say the majority of the MCU, out of the 29, 28 films, and now these shows, most of it has been in a certain tone and a vibe and a feel. And when you have something so colorful and brightful and goofy, it stands out like a sore thumb, very similar to Thor: Love and Thunder. I know that was just a Comedy Central special for a lot of people. I'm very excited to kind of rewatch it to see how it plays on I've only seen it once, so I'm very excited to see if those jokes still land or whatnot. But I think it's just a matter of we're just so in this like, okay, this has to mean something. This has to lead to Kang. This has to
Right.
lead to
I
World
feel
War
you.
Hulk. This has to mean something. But at the end of the day, if they just say this is Jennifer Walter, this is her job, this is her day-to-day life in LA being a lawyer as a She-Hulk, which I haven't read any She-Hulk comics. I'm going to read this one later, but from the panels and things I've heard, this is the character. This is the goofiness and the wild absurdity of the character. And if we don't, to answer your question, if we don't get anything that adds up to anything, I guess I'm okay with that, because the show, Kevin Feige never came out on D23 and said, listen, guys, She-Hulk is going to be the show. This is going to be the show that's going to change the landscape of Marvel forever. They never presented it that way, and now I'm not going to take it that way. This show is just a goofy ass
Let-
comedy sitcom.
okay, let me just say this. Don't get me wrong. I just didn't like this episode. I
Yeah.
still like the show. Like the
Yep.
first episode, first 3 episodes are fine for the most part. So I just want to clarify that. Another thing is No Thor was poop, hot poop. Damn, hot poop. That's hilarious. What was I about to say? That Mara making me laugh and stuff over here.
We were talking about just kind of the you like the show, but it's just moments that might not necessarily
Yeah.
work
Oh,
for you.
and it doesn't have to like lead to Kang and the
Right.
Avengers, but I do want it to have some type of foundation for the future street level. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Set a president, because I mean I doubt it, but I doubt that I doubt that the shape shifting elf
Mhm.
will ever come up again in the
Right.
MCU.
Right.
And so it doesn't have to be big, gigantic, but I wanted to. Because, for example, we got a brief glimpse of the Wrecking Crew.
Which were
It was a brief,
terrible.
goofy thing,
Yeah.
but I was fine with it because we know that that's going to have some significance later in the MCU. You know, the shape shifting elf and Donny Blaze and
Yeah.
Madison.
Are
I
just
don't think, I think that's,
characters of the week.
yeah, and it'll never pop up again. And I'm just like,
I hope we get Madison back though. I ain't gonna lie. V, I want to see her again.
that's
I want
probably
to
gonna
see
be
her and Wong spinoff show.
I got you. That would be nice, I guess. See her sober.
Sober, yeah. I wonder, yeah, how she's fun when she's sober. But no, I get you, B. Like I said, I get where you're coming from in regards to, and again, this is 4 episodes, and I know we got 9 this season, so we got 5 more episodes to maybe explore more of that seriousness that you might be referring to. And I agree with you too, just to kind of, again, we talked about how certain things are relatable. Not every day is fun, goofy, happy-go-lucky type of situations. I think there will be an episode or two that will maybe be a little more grounded. I'm hoping it's that Daredevil appearance that we can get, not Daredevil Netflix seriousness, but just kind of take things and level it out, make it a little bit more balanced. I hope that as the show goes on, we kind of can level it out, because I mean, I would hate for Jennifer Walters to officially come into like the big screen MCU, and it's jokes, goofy. I would like to see, her gradually get into the more serious lane. And I think hopefully, I would imagine that there's more layers to her than just the goofiness. And I think we'll get that in the future, hopefully. But I don't know if this show is going to give us that. I hope it is, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
But again, Madison MVP. What does she call him? Wongers.
Yeah.
She had me dying, man. And when she came up on the court stand, I swear I'll tell the truth. I promise. And the whole drinking thing, and the goat told me I'll sell your, if you tell anyone, I'll rip your soul. Anyone else? And she say drama. I don't like drama. I don't know. I don't know, Brandon. She just had me on 10, bro. She just had me. She reminded me back in the day I used to watch. Or when I was dating my ex-girlfriend, she used to watch a lot of the what was that show called, Jersey Shore. And she reminded me a lot of a character who went by the name of Snooki. I don't know if you ever are you familiar with Jersey Shore?
I know the character Snooki. I didn't watch the show, but I know who Yeah, I know who you're
That's
talking
what she
about.
was. She was
Yeah,
giving me those vibes, and
a little bit.
it was very much so a very kind of over the top, always drinking, day drinking at a raid at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Like she just had me dying. B.
I
She
like
had me.
Madison more than Snooki though. I'll say that.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that. Yeah, I would definitely hang out with Madison before I would hang out with a
Yeah,
Snooki. So,
yeah,
but the courtroom overall, though, you said B, it was just like this is. You was laughing, but you was like, this is just goofy as hell. But hey, this is
yeah,
funny,
yeah. Yeah.
goofy and funny at the same time.
I mean, it was funny, but the reason that we was there is stupid. Like
Yeah, with the ring and
So
the
yeah,
magic. Yeah, no, I got you. I got you. But ultimately, the case does get not dismissed, but the and again, I'm looking at the scene when he throws the smoke, and she's like, "Don't do any more smoke bombs." How did you get that in here? But as of right now, the trial or the case has been put to the side. She has to think about everything for the next few weeks, which again, maybe Wong and maybe Jennifer didn't do a good enough job to express how of big of importance this is as someone is wielding this magic that can ultimately destroy dimensions and affect life on Earth. But I guess it's just the judge just said it's just magic, Wong. It's not hurting anyone until we get to a little bit later in the
you you,
episode.
you know what it is, Elliot. I know. Okay, because I don't blame you for your disdain of Doctor Strange, but Doctor Strange was first introduced to me with the animated movie
Mhm.
that came out in 2003, and that's what I want to see in the MCU, especially as far as the fighting. And we haven't got that yet. Have you seen it?
I'm
No.
not a I've my Doctor Strange knowledge is very limited to just a couple comics every now and then. But I've never really seen a Doctor Strange animated movie or anything. No,
I'll try to get you a copy.
and it's strictly Doctor Strange. It's not like a side story or anything or
Oh
him.
yeah, strictly it's his origin story. It's his origin
Okay,
story. So
gotcha.
and they have Wong in there, and that's it's just every time I see a Doctor Strange character and I don't see what's in that film, it's frustrating because I just feel like they're not living up to the potential of the character or the
Mhm.
lore of that particular group of characters. But so, my
Yeah.
bad, my bad.
No, you're good, bro. As you said, I'm not a big Doctor Strange, MCU Doctor Strange. Benedict Cumberbatch, great actor. Only time I liked him in the MCU was Infinity War and then that What If series. That has been the best versions of the characters for me so far.
Right.
But speaking of characters, B, I'm very curious on who do you think this individual is when we know she went on these dates. One of the guys I think is a real life wrestler who was a lawyer and he was on this episode. We had a director who's directed a movie about a lawyer. Then we got this guy here, Brandon. Now he seemed to be very particular in regards to being very interested in her skill set, her skin. She have super speed, and her powers. Is it safe to say, Brandon, that this dude might be a part of the wrecking crew or might be working for their boss?
Um, I didn't think the Wrecking Crew myself. I think I saw someone else mention that this morning. I was like, huh, possibly, but I didn't
Mhm.
come up with that. But he's definitely a player in way, shape, or form. That's going to come around. It would kind of make sense that he is the boss of the Wrecking
Mhm.
Crew because I know that we was asking that later on because he was talking about impenetrable skin, and that was the same comment that one of the Wrecking Crew
One of the
members
guys made, yeah.
made.
Mhm.
And so yeah, he is really intrigued on a creepy level, and if he was trying to get information or exploit her in some way, this would be the way to do it.
Right.
So pretty calculating. We're
Yep.
gonna have to see though. I hope it turns into something.
Or like we just said 5 minutes ago, maybe it turned into absolutely nothing.
Right, right, right.
Which I don't think it will. I think it was very particular that they had him ask those questions and being so on point about those questions. Whether, like you said, whether it is having connections to whoever this big boss is, which I guess is throwing this out there. Really, do you have or did you have any predictions of theories of who this boss could be? I know there was words of Kingpin. What do people else say? Val, the leader,
Yeah.
Abomination himself, just playing a hoax, or even the main, I guess, who I thought was going to be the main villain of the show, Titanium. Did you have any thoughts, especially now after this episode? Do you have any more further thoughts
Man,
on who this
my
boss could be?
yeah, my thoughts is all the names you said, man. It could
Yeah,
be any of those.
yeah,
The only person I don't think it would be is the Abomination.
yeah, yeah. So
But yeah, it could be it could be Val, it could be Kingpin, it can be this guy. Lord God, he's horrible looking.
he looks like Josh Gad. If you guys know who he is from Frozen, the voice of
Yeah,
Frozen, and he
you're
was in the
good,
Kevin
good,
Hart
good.
movie.
Actually, and I just Googled Wrecking Crew boss, and it does say Wilson Fisk Kingpin. I didn't know that.
Mm,
And so, or yeah, or the leader,
yeah, yeah,
so it could, because I mean that has to do with Hulk. Everybody else has come back from the Hulk
yeah,
movie except for Edward Norton.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to see, man. But I'm excited to find out.
Yeah, I definitely. I'm again knowing that the show hasn't been taken that seriously yet, or hasn't really built on the MCU outside of just the confines of the show. I'm really Kingpin, Hawkeye. Wasn't a fan of how they handled him. I don't know. Actually, I could see Kingpin hiring the Wrecking Crew because they seem to be a bunch of idiots like the tracksuit mafia. So that would kind of line up. But I wouldn't know if Kingpin to be experimenting with like blood and trying to get like Hulk powers. I don't really see that angle. But again,
Right,
it's a new
right.
version of the character. Val would make sense to me, but the only thing about Val, why would she send the Wrecking Crew when she can send, U.S. agent who's a super soldier himself? Like having a more trained person to get the job done and not having a bunch of idiots do that. That wouldn't make sense to me for Val to do that. But
Well, I mean, yeah, but I think she's smarter than that to want to keep him on the wraps. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
people know who she is, so she don't want to reveal her cards too early.
true,
This is,
true,
these Wrecking Crew people are a nobody to the public.
right.
So
Yeah, I definitely, and like Kayla said, and I would think it would be probably more just to tie it back. Because why would you have this actress show up in the first episode? All the marketing has shown that titanium is the big bad. So I would say the Kingpin and the Vows of the world and leaders might be a possibility, like you said, especially tied to the Hulk universe. But I think just for the confines of the show, because it hasn't broadened the horizons of the MCU universe, it probably might be titanium, especially the way that this episode ends. She's still out there. She has, she wants literally blood for stealing her name that we get a little bit later. But I will say for me, Brandon, the only moment in this episode that I really wasn't the biggest fan of was kind of wrapping up the episode when the Donny Blaze opens up the portal and we get all these monsters and creatures. I was hoping that, again, tying back to the greater MCU, because I remember seeing the trailer and seeing these little monsters. I was like, oh, these are probably those same little bats from Shang-Chi. So, and again, knowing that the Hulk was in that film, I would have thought, it would have tied it into this, but these are just some other goblin ghouls, gremlin looking creatures that I wasn't a fan of the look of the creatures, and also the kind of the goofiness of it all kind of wore off on me at that point. But what did you think about just the final battle of the sorts of the episode? And of course, so many questions, Brandon. How does one have intimate times with the She-Hulk? So many questions.
bruh, he got muscles too, so he's
Very, yeah.
possibly the best candidate for that. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I noticed, we was talking about Jennifer's confidence earlier and the lack
Mhm.
thereof, and her, getting crapped on in the dating game. I noticed that her confidence, her personality, demeanor completely changes when she's the Hulk.
Yeah.
She's much more aggressive,
Mhm.
straddling them, and I'm not, saying that there's anything wrong with that, but it's quite different.
Yeah.
But the thing is, this was, again, I didn't like it. I didn't like the little demon things for the exact reason that you said. I don't understand why Wong has to call Jennifer for this unless there's just no reason. Hit up some of your other magic homeboys. I mean,
Yeah.
don't y'all
Just
have the
clean
whole
up.
school
Yeah.
like, hey, they, like you the Ghostbusters or something? You know what I'm saying? Go down the
Good point. Yeah.
pole, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he's like, why don't you answer? Okay, if she's not answering her phone, like, hit somebody else
Hit
up.
someone up. Hit
It
Doctor.
would,
I
it would
mean, Doctor Strange's probably busy, but yeah, you can even
anybody, bro. They have a whole school of people who at the end of every movie training, they're like 30, 40 deep, and so
Very true. Very true.
I it just it did it, for him even calling her,
Yeah.
for one, and then two, okay, you gave yourself 10 reasons to ask somebody else. It was not necessary. I kind of thought it was cool though, the way he opened up a portal and
Mhm.
then starts flinging them through there. I
Flinging
don't
them
know
in. Yeah.
where that was, because they was coming from another
Wherever they are,
dimension.
I
Like,
feel bad for,
what are you,
for those.
yeah, what are you throwing them in Antarctica? I mean, what if they
Right.
come back or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
But the way he did the little thing and it turned into like a vacuum and just
Yeah.
sucked them in towards the end, that was cool. I like that part.
Mhm.
But again, it's just like Wong, to me, Wong is struggling too much to be the Sorcerer Supreme. Like, I'm not saying that everything should be a cakewalk for him. I do like a challenge, but I don't like the challenge in this episode. I just it's you the Sorcerer Supreme, bro.
Yeah, it's for lack of better words, it feels a little a watered down version of the Sorcerer Supreme. Again, I relate this to Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. I feel like they had to water that character down for we as an audience can believe that this kid was able to outsmart Doctor Strange in the mirror
Right.
in his own mirror dimension of all
Right.
places. So again, the only thing I didn't like about the scene, I didn't like the look of those creatures. And again, I would have liked if it tied to Shang-Chi, but I will defend the scene for a little bit as far as why Wong will call her versus, getting, like you said, one of his students or, a teacher of sorts, was probably because he might be embarrassed. He might not want everyone to know, obviously the courtroom's going on, so people probably know that he, brought this person to court. But that's the only reason I can see why he called her out. And plus, she is the lawyer, so this probably helps their case out, and she can have firsthand experience of like, this is why we need to end this magic, and she can, speak to it better than what she was able to or wasn't able to earlier in the episode. So that's the only reason I can see that. And
I'll
also,
give you
she is a
that.
Hulk. He is a Hulk, so it probably helps to have some muscle.
I mean, I'll give you that. I give it to you because I was thinking that myself. Because in the scene when she had one more little demon dog left, she was like, "Hey, cut it out, or I'm gonna let this, my friend off on you." And she was like, "Do we agree?" And Cornelius was like, "Yes," and he said maybe, and then she put the little demon in his. He's like, "Okay." So I mean, I'll give you that, but I still feel like he should have been able to hit up other
been a
people,
cakewalk.
So
or at
in
least
that
by
too.
himself, he should have been able to probably take out these little demons. Yeah, like I said, at this point, I'm understanding that some of these characters that we've come to know, a la Abomination, that they have to kind of be again somewhat watered down to kind of fit the narrative of the story, which I'm always not a fan of characters having to be less than to kind of fit into a story or fit into a storyline. But I think this was the scene you was talking about earlier, Brandon.
Yeah.
With she's like,
right.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect little fight sequence for her as we're
Mhm.
getting to know her and her, and how agile she is or isn't. And because it's one thing to fight a big monster because it's a big target, but you have a bunch of little ones that can fly and jump around, and they're stronger than puppies.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I agree, and I'm very curious to see if where those creatures went. But question I have for you, Brandon, again, man, if you are this gentleman here, and you got this She-Hulk coming at you like we see on the screen now, man, what's the first thing that comes to your mind, Brandon, if you're this individual?
Yeah, that's I mean the combination of fright, of afraid and excited, man. Just like, oh man, I'm really finna do this. Like shit. Like
again, man, I have so
man.
many questions for you, Brandon. Like I don't, I mean, this is first off, CGI is looking better each week to me because there are some moments where when she's walking, when it's like light scenes when she's walking in the office, some of the CGI just still looks off to me, but the CGI has gotten better when there's not as much light access and directly, her, face on, but the CGI is looking better, man. But again, to answer my own question, if a She-Hulk is on me, with this goo and blood on me, I don't know what I would do, B.
Yeah, I would have to remove the goo first. I could not allow her to be on top the first time we do it. That's just too.
That's a scary proposition, bro.
You cannot be. We gotta warm up to this.
Listen,
so
it's Disney Plus, but
right.
I'm gonna need Daredevil, or not Daredevil, but my man Deadpool. I would love Deadpool and She-Hulk to have an interaction because he would have the questions I would have. Like, how does one have intimate moments with the Hulk?
Man, they need to write that in there. Like Marvel, hire Elliot as a script writer, man.
I need She-Hulk and my man Deadpool to have these conversations. These questions we have.
She would get it though. She would definitely. I would have to oblige her. I would
listen, bro. I mean, last week's twerking session, this week, seeing that she is very aggressive, that can be attractive in certain situations. B. So I mean, She-Hulk is making her way on the list.
I wouldn't even feel some type of way if she picked me up like that. You know what I'm saying? Any other woman, I would be like, no, but I would feel like I was in good hands with her. I would just embrace it.
I would feel very small, Brandon,
really?
if a woman were to pick me up of that capacity. Let me bring it up on the screen. My confidence would be totally out of the door.
Really?
I would be completely thrown off. I might have to just take the time out, Brandon, because I don't know. The man, yeah, Kevin. The manhood is that card is gone. It's suspended for temporary purposes. I don't know how I feel about that.
I just because it's hard, because it's a Hulk though. I think I can live with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah, I
you only
guess
live once, bro. You
it's true.
know,
That's
like
true. I mean, telling
uh,
your homeboys and telling your friend, like, bro, I literally I
no
smashed
shame.
the Hulk.
Yeah, yeah. I smashed the Hulk. Man, that's crazy.
Who would have known, Brandon, that at the beginning of Phase 4 that we would be talking about the Hulk, a She-Hulk smashing, ass twerking, and all that sorts. It's a
Oh
crazy time we
man,
live in, B. This is a
yeah.
crazy.
It is. It is a crazy town. That's hilarious. I
Oh
didn't. Yeah,
man.
I didn't think
But
we'd be here.
wrapping it up, man. Again, this dude's he ended up being a douche, and like it does confirm that that they put the kids to bed. They had sex when she was in her She-Hulk form because when she comes back up, he's like, "Whoa, who are you?" That's kind of off-putting. And like, come on, bro, you knew she was you know she's a human. You've probably seen her human form.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
are you
That's
talking
harsh right there.
about? So and like you mentioned earlier, B, she took it on the chin. She was like, you know what, it is what it is.
And
At least
that
she smashed.
And that's the thing, though. To be realistic, like I can understand if he woke up and she was right next to him in the bed, staring at him like this, like
Right.
hi, like whoa, But she was chill. She let him wake up and kind of
She
adjust
made
to
breakfast,
himself and
Brandon.
made breakfast. She
Yes,
wasn't
bro.
like she was just chilling. Like she could
Yeah.
have rolled up a joint or something, and they just could have,
Yeah.
like she didn't express any expectations or anything. This could have been they could have did this another time.
Bro,
Hey,
man, this dude's lame, bro.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like he whacked for that.
Mhm. I agree. B. But anyway, she took it on her chin. She took it like a champ. It was like,
Yeah.
you know what, whatever. But unfortunately, and I love again the meta nature how the episode ends with her getting the LLC from Titanium, getting the
Right.
she even acknowledges this is kind of a lame way to end the episode, but it leads into next week, which again I would assume Titanium will be for I don't want to know the duration of the season, but will finally come back up because we all know, regardless of how much I enjoyed this episode, that first fight in episode 1 where she punched her, Macho Man, Randy Savage style. That was a very terrible scene. But hopefully, when we see Titanium again, she's more equipped to fight the She-Hulk. But what are you hoping to see, Brandon? Because I know again I didn't see the first 4 episodes. They only gave the first four, right? You guys didn't
Right.
see
Correct.
the 5 or
Correct.
anything.
Right. So yeah, nobody unless they got a super duper group that they're giving other screeners to. Yeah, it's all fresh for everybody else now. I don't know what's happening next.
You think we getting
You know.
Daredevil next week?
Probably not. I don't want to get my
Yeah,
hopes up. That's probably I'm a guess we're gonna get Daredevil episode 7. That's my
later
bet.
on. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But Brandon,
What was kind of a bummer though is I was like, okay, that's the end of the episode. And she was like, she said it herself. This is a bummer way to end the episode. Maybe
yeah,
there's a fun tag. And I was looking forward to it. I'm like, okay, maybe it's gonna have some good significance. And it was Wongers. And I was like, oh Lord, it's Madison. So but I don't know. She's all right.
listen, B. If anything that I got from this episode, I'm gonna need this at D23 on Saturday. I want this.
Oh my God. Did you
I
make
need it.
that?
No, I didn't. I saw it
Okay.
on Twitter or something. I need it, B. I need it.
I got you. Only Madison, only Y, but it's not where you think. Oh, only one. Okay, I got you. Nice.
I
That's
need it, B.
hilarious.
I need that
That
Madison
is
spinoff
hilarious.
with Wong. I need that in phase 5
Nice.
and 6 to leading up to Kang.
Nice.
But
Nice.
listen, guys, that's our thoughts. Again, I'm going to open up the lines here for a little bit. I don't want to keep you guys too long because I know Eamon has a stream coming on later tonight. We got football later tonight. We got Lord of the Rings later tonight, and also Barbarian, which I'm going to watch. I saw your reaction, B. I know you're not a big horror fan, but you was like, that third act just didn't stick the landing.
Yeah, I remember I saw the trailer a while ago and I was like, okay, I can do this. And then I just completely forgot about it. And I got my confirmation email and I said, let me look at this trailer one more time. And I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. And Elliot, the first third was a cinematic masterpiece.
Oof.
Elliot, I was ready to run out of the theater and be like, y'all, this is the best movie I've seen this year. Because Sharonda loved it and a lot of other people loved it.
Hearing some really good things.
But the second act, this thing started to unravel a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that third act, just couldn't do it, man. Just couldn't do it. I don't want to spoil anything or
Yeah. Which
mess
I
up the
hear, like,
expectations, but
the less you know about it, the better the experience can be.
yeah,
You don't want to get spoiled.
yeah,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right. If you haven't seen the trailer, don't don't watch it. Just read the synopsis.
The only thing I seen was the trailers they were playing throughout the last few months, which is just showing a girl going to Airbnb. Alex or Bill Skarsgård's there. He gets trapped in the basement, and that trailer to me seemed very vague. So I'm hoping that it's just more absurd and crazy than what that trailer showed us, which apparently it is. Apparently it's crazy.
Yeah. And it was headed in the right direction because we're watching. It's like, man, this is crazy. This is effed up. But for me, it was just too many logical plot holes. I was like, when you think about it, and I was just like, come on, man. I mean, I just it's for me. Look, there's more people out there that love the whole thing. I'm in the minority. Okay, but the ending just did not make any sense to me.
Have you? What's that damn movie? Cabin in the Woods. You ever seen Cabin in the Woods with who's on?
Wasn't it like a spoof? Wasn't it like a spoof or something?
It
Not
was
like a spoof, but like didn't Josh Whedon do that?
Yeah. It was Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth was in it, and it was like essentially well, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it was like a big old behind the curtain Wizard of Oz. Like they do this on a regular basis.
I'll say I have respect for the film. I respect what they did. It's it's not something that I would buy or pop on.
Yeah,
but I did enjoy myself, and I was I respect this.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm gonna have to check out because I don't want to get it spoiled. Luckily, I haven't seen any spoilers or anything. By all accounts, everyone says the less you know, the better, and it is just wacky and crazy as you could imagine. So I'm gonna either tonight or tomorrow. I'm gonna try to give it a watch.
I cannot wait to hear your thoughts, bro. I cannot wait.
I'm excited for it. But I do know since I have you, Brandon, and since no one wants to come in and talk to me and Brandon, we'll wrap it up here in a little bit. Again, if anyone wants to come on for 5-10 minutes, let us know your thoughts on the episode, your thoughts for D23 or any Marvel news you guys want to talk about. The link is in the description or in the chat, guys, so you can come in and chat with us for a little bit as we wrap it up. But Brandon, I know a conversation I want to have for you, and I haven't spoke to you since Lord of the Rings. I know you were loving it. You were Google Gaga over it.
Yes.
I still haven't seen the second episode, which I heard the second episode a little bit better than the first. But I was not feeling that first episode. Dog.
I don't understand how, bro. I'm loving what they're giving us with Galadriel. Because in the original trilogy, we see that she's just really reserved and like just chilling, like just sitting up on the top of the mountain. But we get to see somewhat of her origin, like and like she's obsessed. Like, is she making the right decision? And we find out that she's right. Like, that is just rich to me. Like, I love that.
I got you.
I don't, man. Yeah, they broke my heart in the DMs the other day. I'm like, what is this? I was like, they're playing this. They messing with me. Hey, let's mess with Brandon and tell him it sucks.
Oh man,
none of y'all. I was like, what?
Yeah, man. It wasn't terrible for me. It was just, it felt hollow. If I'm being honest with you, at least I'm only talking about the first episode, and I haven't seen. I'm gonna probably watch the second episode sometime tonight or maybe tomorrow. But it looked gorgeous, as everyone said, how beautiful it was, and it better look gorgeous. I mean, spending half of a country's, income on a TV show is crazy. So it looked beautiful. I couldn't gravitate towards any of the characters. It just was this meandering. I'm like, dude, this is boring as hell.
The fact that she turned down her invitation to heaven was crazy to me. Like, who does that? And that's why I respect her character, because she's like, no, I still have a responsibility. I cannot go kick it for the rest of eternity. I think it was the never dying lands of something. I forgot what it was called. She's like, I got a responsibility, and plus, she's trying to avenge her brother. Like, I don't know. That alone, I'm just like, I want to see all of this. Like that's.
I got you. I mean, out of the entire episode, she was that storyline was probably the most interesting. I didn't really the elf and the girlfriend, that I didn't really care. That didn't really add up to me. The Hobbit people didn't really go anywhere to me. So I don't know. Again, I heard episode 2 is better though, right? You would say
yes. And Elrond, he took it like a G of getting put in the friend zone, in my opinion.
Oh, okay, yeah,
because he wanted, because I mean, he cut for her, but he's like, hey, this is how I feel. I'm trying to be here for you, but if we disagree, cool. I will be here for you this way as well. I mean, he knew where to draw the line between the romance and the business.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, she whooped the troll at the beginning. I mean, seeing her elf people talking about, hey man, we done completed the mission.
Yeah.
We done went all around the world. We tired now. Shit, we want to go home. She's like, no, and
Yeah.
oh, Elliot, hey, if you don't like it, it's cool. If you don't like it, you didn't like it. I'm just, I was very shocked
Yeah, I
about
mean,
that.
again, I'm gonna watch episode 2. I'm gonna watch this series
Yeah.
on a weekly basis. I just right now for me, and I'll be honest with you, it's just I'm so engrossed into the House of the Dragon world right now that anything else that's not on that par as far as in the fantasy genre, if it's lesser than, I'm just not interested. Because right now, I don't know how you feeling about House of the Dragon, Brandon, but that show is hitting on all levels. That show to me is like must see TV. I'm loving House of the Dragon.
I do agree with you. I saw a bit of your recap. I kind of wish we would have saw the fight between Damon and the Crab
Oh
King.
my gosh, that was so wasted to me. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
It's on another. Game of Thrones is back, if you ask me. But hey, B, no one wants to chop it up with us today, but that's all right because I got the chance to talk to you, man. I appreciate you coming on,
Oh.
and having a good laugh and talking about again. Telling you, B, if there's anything that I got away from this episode, bro, it's just that this is my hero. This is my favorite character of Phase 4, and that is Madison with 2 N's and a Y. And I need more of this, and I definitely want this in the future. I'm gonna need that spinoff series tomorrow. But listen, B, again, I appreciate you, man. If you're outroing out, if you want to let everyone know again where they can find your content and what is the next bit of awesome content you have lined up for the people on your channel.
Next bit of awesome content. Well, just my opinion reviews. That is the 4 words, my YouTube channel, just my opinion reviews. So please come over, subscribe. I would love to have you join the family. And Elliot, he pops in whenever he can too, and I always enjoy him. Got my social media handle on the screen. Something that you can look forward to is the End of the Road review with Ludacris and Queen Latifah. I'm working on that. Also, my review for Sins of Our Mothers. That is another Netflix documentary. It's coming out on the 14th. I finished it earlier today, early this morning, and I shot my review for it already. So I just got to edit that. And so also, I'm going to be talking about the Silent Twins with Letitia Wright, and also The Woman King. I'm seeing that tomorrow night as well. And so I'll try to get you guys a out of theater reaction. And as you see, Elliot got my channel pulled up right there. So that's what you can get: movie reviews, spoiler movie reviews, series reviews, all type of stuff right there. And so, yeah. And you see that spoiler movie reviews. Hopefully, I can get a nice spoiler review for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. That's going to be an epic conversation. So I got a lot of stuff, man. So just come check me out. I'd love to have you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. I'm Black Panther. That is gonna be a discussion for all discussions, man. That's gonna be probably talked about for the rest of the year into next year, man.
Yeah,
I'm really excited and nervous and all of the emotions when that film comes out, and in just a mere 3 months actually from now, literally 3 months from now. So yeah, man. I expect trailers coming out. Another trailer for that. And D23 B. It's literally Saturday.
Yeah.
Bombs, bro.
Yeah.
Casting, Fantastic Four, director, maybe a mutant or two coming up on stage or a show or a movie. It's going down, B. It's going down. But again, Brandon, I thank you, my friend, for coming on. Again, for everyone that joined in to the entire duration and watched it from the beginning all the way to this point, I appreciate you. Again, check out Brandon's channel, subscribe, check out his content.
Hello? Kind of froze. Are we still live?